暁をもたらさぬ。また祈願だわ。もしや宣教が。
案ずるな。雪御前様がお守りくださる。
蝶の羽ばたきは果たして彼方まで届くか。
無駄なこと。雪御前よ、そなたは一族の希望じゃ。
当主様、祈るばかりではなく。
雪姫、将兵に神々のご加護を与え、民草を安心させることも大事な役目じゃ。
ですが、私も武器を取り戦います。
源氏はお前まで失えぬ。
踏み潰す。当主様、ぶつけて敵は目前。
雪御前様、早くお逃げください。
その血肉を捧げよ。この我に取り込まれるがいい。
おやめください。死んでしまわれます。神よ、祈ることはもうしない。源氏はここにあり、終わりなどせぬ。正門。
ほう、悪くはない。しかし三大家族は皆無垢。お前に救えるものはない。
その身に刻め、汚れし者よ。
兵士の炎は尽きませぬ。
この一戦をもって静寂を。この身は刃に、この志は吹雪に。落ちよ、平将門。姉様。
雪姫がこの世に生を受けたのは、雲一つなく満月が天高く輝く夜だった。源氏一門は彼女を100年に一人の天才巫女とたたえ、惜しみない期待を寄せた。その人生は始まったばかりでありながら、まるで結末がすでに定められているかのようであった。誰も及ばぬその天賦の際によって、彼女は若くして巫女頭の座につき、雪御前と呼ばれるようになった。
かのお方はまさに源氏の宝玉です。
祭儀のたび、席に連なる賓客たちは彼女の姿に見とれ、惨憺の声を惜しまなかった。
源氏の宝玉。
彼女がそっとつぶやいたその言葉にはかすかな疑念がにしみ、静かな楼閣に静かに消えていった。
雪姫よ、しかと聞け。前線の将兵たちが最も求めているのは、神々に彼らの無事と勝利を祈る強き巫女だ。そればかりではない。後方にいる彼らの祭司もまた心の拠り所として信仰を求めている。
当主の言葉はもっともだった。雪御前にもそれが分かっている。天を焦がす火矢が雪御前の広角を焼き尽くすその日まで、将兵は全滅、当主も戦場に倒れた。終末のごとき光景の中、雪御前の視線は煙と炎を貫き、黙している呪神に落ちた。雪御前は呪神を抱き、炎に包まれた広角を後にする。もはや振り返ることなく、ただ一人千軍万馬の前に立った。雪御前は剣を高く掲げた。
今日この日よりこの世に呪神は存在せず、ただ小生の刃あり。この力を持って一族の亡き魂を故郷へと送り、源氏の安寧を永遠に守らん。源氏はここにあり、終わりなどせぬ。はやては竹をしならせるのみ。心を鎮めれば切っ先もまた鋭く。
雪姫様、奇襲しても勝てないなんて。
修行の道はもとより険しいもの。焦れば焦るほどかえって遠回りになるのよ。
そんなの知らない。もう一回、今度こそ勝てます。
また今度ね。今夜は他に大事な修行が待っているから。
何ですか？刀の稽古より大事なことって。
もちろん食事でしょ。 守り抜く。
おい魚、早く私を楽しませるにゃ。
必ず守り抜く。
おい魚、早く私を楽しませるにゃ。捕まえたにゃ。
必ず守り抜く。
1,000 miles away from Hankyo, dust blotted out the sun, and the sound of galloping hooves never ceased. The skeleton army advanced silently like a black river flowing toward Hankyo. Since the incident at the Council of the Sun, although a Shiodoman's scheme was thwarted, the seal Tadano Masakata managed to escape from the seal of Yamatai. Odakuro sensed his former master's call and now leads the lingering souls of the Taida clan toward Hankyo. Odakuro cares not for the outcome, victory, or defeat. What he seeks is to fulfill a promise, to let his brothers resolve their lingering regrets and truly rest in peace. That is why he must press forward, now. Those once brilliant flames, none who witnessed his glory could forget that radiance. Yet now his 6 limbs are scarred, his frame broken, so frail that onlookers are moved to pity. But what does it matter? The flames are reigniting, and Odakuro will be the first to greet the blaze. Even if this might be the last sunrise, rise, my general. The news of Odakuro leading the Taida's army's approach spread throughout Hankyo in an extremely short time. The city was filled with a heavy, restless tension, like the eerie calm before a storm. Some keen individuals had already packed and fled in haste, but many more remained, unable to leave for various reasons. In the tea room with a minimal of residents, cold tea reflected the solemn faces of those gathered. Lost in their own thoughts, the silence spread until someone finally broke it. Everyone knows Odakuda and his army aren't hard to deal with. With you, Lord Minamoto no Yorimitsu, and your elite ghost army working together, you'll surely make them surrender without breaking a sweat. Right. Moreover, with someone as wise as Lord Samet overseeing things here, the safety of Heikyo seems hardly a cause for excessive worry. Enough with the rambling. As the head of the Fujiwara clan, with your intelligence gathering abilities, you should know better than anyone here that the real threat isn't Odokuro, right? The legendary head of the Taida clan, the general sun hunter who once led the Taida to their zenith, only to vanish like a shooting star. Taida no Masakado is about to awaken. Fujiwara no Michinaga frowned slightly, clearly not pleased to hear this name. The shadow of the Genpei War never faded. Back then, the Taida clan brazenly ignited the flames of war, and even the united efforts of the three great clans could not turn the tide. Taida no Masakado burned like wildfire across the land. Back then, the ancestors of the three great clans could only choose between dying with dignity or clinging to a silver of life, waiting for a faint chance at reversal. The descendants of the three great clans present had never witnessed that calamity. Yet through the fragmented words of fear and despair left by their ancestors, they understood what kind of terrifying opponent this would be. Perhaps we should first organize the evacuation of the city's residents to Itsukushima. The Fujiwara territory is at least temporarily safe, and it won't be Taida no Masakado's first target after his recovery. Are you suggesting we abandon Heikyō? Lord Minamoto no Yorimitsu, with all due respect, stepping back is merely to buy time for more thorough preparations. The Fujiwara clan operates differently from you. We never act without being fully prepared. Ha! Dressing up cowardice so eloquently. The verbal skills of the Fujiwara family head are something I, Minamoto no Yorimitsu, cannot match. I've already stated my purpose, to investigate the source of Mount Suzuka's corruption. No matter your decision, I will not retreat. Samet had been silently observing the sand table. Now, he waved his folding fan and drew a boundary line around it. What if we advance instead of retreating? Expand the defensive line, setting up barriers far from Heikyō, divide the areas into layers, gradually weakening and dismantling Odakuda's forces. The exact time and location of Taida no Masakado's recovery remain uncertain, but if we collaborate fully, we can buy time to gather more intel and prepare a more thorough countermeasure. The atmosphere in the tea room grew lively again as everyone quickly assigned their defense zones and drafted initial troop deployment plans. By the time discussions concluded, the sun had dipped below the horizon, thus enveloping the land. There's one more thing I can do to perhaps increase our chances of success. Onmyoji presented an object. Upon closer inspection. It was the ice blade that had once appeared in the castle of the sun. By now, it had already shattered into several pieces, leaving only a relatively intact hilt. The hilt had a peculiar shape, resembling a tightly closed flower bud, emitting a faint cold glow, making it difficult to glimpse its true appearance when whole. This was the blade once wielded by the unnamed sword saint of the Minamoto clan. This ice blade is named Life Reaper. It has a twin, Death Killer. As for the blade of certain death, you've all seen it before, having witnessed Yotahime's power. You can surely imagine the force contained within this icy blade, no? Its owner was revered as a shrine maiden sword saint, the strongest shrine maiden in Minamoto history, and the only one who ever truly slashed down Taida no Masakado. Could it be she too? After the ice blade shattered, it lay dormant for a time as if devoid of all spirit, but when the Taida's presence re-emerged in the world, I clearly sensed an anomaly stirring within the blade of life's passage. You've all seen with your own eyes how this ice blade summoned a powerful figure the moment it reunited with Yokohime. Through my subsequent investigations in ancient texts, I confirmed that figure was the lingering spirit of this blade's master, the Sword Saint. Oh, so Lord Minamoto Miyori meets you're suggesting that in the battle against the terrifying Tado no Masakado, you plan to summon your ancestor's spirit again for aid? That's certainly an unconventional idea. Minamoto Miyori turned his back, deliberately ignoring the veiled mockery in Fujiwara Michinaga's words, and instead faced the men with a solemn expression. The only reasonable explanation for why such fragmented spirits haven't completely dissipated and can reside within the blade for so long is this. Your true form has not perished, and the connection between the sword and its master remains unbroken. That sounds reasonable, but in these endangered G4 times, is it really worth taking risks for a mere conjecture? All I know is she was the only one who truly defeated Tado no Masakado. Even if we can only recover a single shard of her spirit, it would likely be more useful than anyone present here. In that case, even without absolute certainty, a risky move worth taking shouldn't be abandoned. Lord Saman never ceased to amaze. Who knew even someone as meticulously calculating as you would act without absolute certainty? Is he actually saying something nice or something bad? I shouldn't have brought you along. All you've learned are bad habits. I won't interfere with what you're about to do. See you on the battlefield. Suzuka Gozen stood up and left the tea room briskly. The four of us will accompany you to investigate whatever the case the Blade of Passage may hold answers. This was a desolate stretch between the coastal waters of Masazuka and Heian-kyo. Though early autumn, a furious wind howled, snow and tempests raged, plunging the world into chaos. Everyone trudged through the deep snow, their vision obscured by a vast whiteness, making it hard to discern direction. I say, this is the right place, isn't it? I use the highest grade Minamoto teleportation talisman. Tracking the lingering aura of my master within the blade, there's no mistake. Although many details about the Genpei War have been lost, according to the clues I've gathered, this should be the site of the final battle between the Minamoto and Taida, as well as the place where that shrine-reading sword saint disappeared. The final battle was a bloodbath, as they fought all the way from the coastal waters of Mount Suzuka to this very place. If its disappearance, could she have already vanished like Misty, perhaps becoming a snowfall here? Your imagination is quite vivid, but could you show some respect for our ancestors? If Tado no Masakado could preserve his body intact, awaiting recovery, how could the former head of the Minamoto clan, the Sword Saint who failed him, be any lesser? Your ability to extrapolate 10 sentences from hearing just one isn't half bad either. You'd almost walk back to Kagura and pack down the snow under her feet to make it easier for her to walk. The spiritual energy here is indeed highly unstable. This is truly abnormal. Kagura suddenly stopped, pointing toward a place deep in the snowstorm, her gaze slightly lost.
Annette, I feel something's off about that place. Ever since we stepped into this area, I felt an ancient yet familiar power subtly pulling at me, resonating with my bloodline. My perception here seems to have sharpened considerably.
The group trudged toward the direction Kagura pointed, where the G4 seemed slightly less fierce. A bizarre sight unfolded before them. A field of gentian flowers completely frozen in time, countless blue-purple blossoms, preserved in full bloom within crystal-clear ice. Amid the snowstorm, the flower field reflected a cold, translucent blue light, hauntingly beautiful and silent. The blizzard seems more like a powerful defense ring, as if deliberately preventing outsiders from approaching this core area. Perhaps this is the handiwork of that shrine maiden's Lord Saint, meant to isolate some kind of danger. Everyone, the resonance of the blade of life's end is growing stronger. Why not try the connection technique here? It might point us in a clearer direction or awaken something. Minamoto no Yorumitsu turned to Hiromasa. I need you to lend me a hand. Who, me? Minamoto no Yorimitsu's gaze passed through Hiromasa, settling on Kagura behind him. Kagura, ever since you stepped into this area, you felt the pull of that power, haven't you? You and she share the same Minamoto bloodline as Shrine Maidens. Your powers are of the same origin. If you join me in the ritual, we can greatly amplify the resonance. With your abilities, do you really need the help of a child? Kagura, don't listen to him. Kagura, don't push yourself if your body can't handle it. Just say so. No one will blame you.
It's alright, everyone. I actually really want to give it a try. I'm quite curious about that mentor.
Saman nodded, and the group stepped back slightly to give Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Kagura enough space. Minamoto no Yorimitsu swiftly set up the ritual array, while Kagura took a deep breath, channeling her spiritual energy into the blade. The resonance between the magic circle and the blade grows stronger, echoing each other. The hilt trembles increasingly violently, emitting a hum. It's as if a soul long in deep slumber senses a familiar presence, eagerly yearning to answer the call. Is this the Sword Saint Priestess answering a summon? Before the words even faded, the ice beneath their feet suddenly cracked. Without warning, the massive ice sheet collapsed with a thunderous roar, plunging everyone into a bottomless, icy abyss.
もっと遊びたいな。行きます。もっと遊びたいな。光の加護を求めし者よ。その聞き届けた。重い力よ。運命に峠を張ればしません。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。先ほど不滅の天国のみんなの願いは私が守る。本間の日の光貫け。みんなを守る。必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。その思い聞き届けた。その身で受けなさい。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。みんなの願いは私が守る。
A scorching, violent aura belonging to the Taira clan silently seeped through the ice, winding its way toward the deepest depths. The frozen gentian flowers seemed awakened by this aura, the ice crystals on their petals emitting faint cracking sounds. Layer upon layer of blue-purple blossoms slowly unfurled within the ice. At the center of the flower bed, a beautiful figure lay quietly in sleep. Her expression was serene and peaceful, her lashes dusted with fine frost, her skin pale as if already one with this eternal land of snow. Yet, when that familiar scent of the title, laced with blood and destruction, drew near like a whispered curse brushing past her ear, the brows of the sleeping figure furrowed, slight and almost imperceptible ripple of movement, and her frozen fingers twitched ever so faintly, barely noticed, as if a soul slumbering for centuries is about to awaken.
その思い聞き届けで受けなさい。みんなは守る。みんなの願いは私が守る。必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。闇を退け。その想い聞き届けた。煉獄の苦しみ運命に神戸を狩れはしません。みんなの願いは私が守る。明治早くみんなを守る。その想い聞き届け。必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。世の安寧を乱す者よ、前へ。その思い聞き届けた。みんなの願いは私が守る。神戸を狩れはしません。日の光貫け。煉獄のその想い聞き届けた。この大物、誰の魂に物語が眠ってるんだよ。破滅を食い止めてみせましょう。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。みんなの願いは私が守る。その身で受けなさい。その想い聞き届け。必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。日の光貫け。みんなは守る。明治早く。みんなの願いは私が守る。
滅を食い止めてみせましょう。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
煉獄のその思い聞き届け明治みんなは守る
運命、正面を狩れはしません。闇を退
みんなの願いは私
け、破
が守る
滅を食い止めてみせましょう。
とがみで受けなさいその思い聞き届けた
必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。
戦場に涙は潮と勝利の美。
Kagura gently rubbed her slightly sore eyes. Her last memory was falling into an icy abyss with everyone, the piercing cold numbing her bones as she lost consciousness. Now her vision refocuses.
Strange. Isn't this the Shrine Maiden class I attended as a child?
Kagura blinked hard. The aged wooden desk still carried the scent of ink, sunlight filtering through yellowed washi paper windows, turning the inkstone's contents into a golden pool. She vaguely recalled herself from years ago, when she was still too short to reach the edge of the table, and it was always her brother who took her to school. Her brother carried her on his back, along with a pile of books heavier than her, while she dangled her legs, swaying as they crossed a courtyard blooming with gentians. Have you mastered the spell I just mentioned? A voice like frost and snow came from above. Kagura looked up to see a beautiful face gazing down at her. The speaker lowered their head, fixing Kagura with a gaze. Their ice-like eyes made the very air feel frozen. Mind wandering. Her voice was as smooth as jade, yet the authority in her words was unmistakable. Kagura recognized her, the very figure summoned by the ice blades in the calcinous sun.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, when in doubt, apologizing first is never wrong. This was a trick her elder brother taught her. Kagura lowered her head, her gaze sweeping over a small bronze mirror on the table. The reflection in the mirror wasn't her own, but that of a young shrine maiden, around 12 or 13 years old. Kagura had an epiphany, judging by her many adventures with the men. She must have fallen into some kind of memory illusion.
And I became someone in this memory, experiencing it from this person's perspective. After sensing it, all that I can control is some words and actions of this body. The range is limited. Probably only those that won't damage the memories can be performed. Whose memory could this be? Sorry. Sword Saint Priestess?
The classroom fell silent for a moment as everyone looked at Kagura, their expressions less shocked and more positive. Their faces all seemed to say, is this guy talking in his sleep during class? What are you talking about? The little shrine maiden sitting nearby tugged on Kagura's sleeve, her voice hushed to a whisper. Only then did Kagura notice that the young shrine maiden beside her, that childish face looked so familiar, almost like...
Yokohime? Huh? What's wrong with you? What nonsense are you spouting now? I'm not you. Can't you even recognize me? Not you. I've heard rumors. Before Yokohime became a weapon, she was once human. Could it be? It's Lady Yuki Gozen. Did you eat too much for lunch, and now you're drowsy? Stop talking nonsense.
Whether it was the priestess or the saint, or the Yuki Gozen, The instructors remained non-committal about Kagura's probing in class.
It seems she's the sword-saint priestess we've been searching for, so she's called Yuki Gozen.
If someone can't even master dust purification today, they need not return tomorrow. Lady Yuki Gozen's words once again severed Kagura's train of thought. Hurriedly regaining focus, Kagura channeled her spiritual energy to chant the incantation, yet the talismans on the disc remained utterly still.
Huh? Is using spiritual power really this difficult? This should be the simplest spell. Why is there no reaction at all? Like this. Watch me.
With great confidence, Nagi traced a complex gesture in mid-air and, in the blink of an eye, unexpectedly pointed at the amulet. The amulet lay quietly, showing no response. Nagi scratched her head in confusion.
Huh? That's how it should work. Why isn't it moving? No, Nagi. Your movements look more like you're just trying to startle the amulet.
Kagura caught a glimpse of the clumsily drawn talisman on Nagi's disc.
Seems I've sat next to the child who's adept at learning.
Facing Nagi's series of ineffective actions, Kagura heard Yuki Gozen let out an almost imperceptible, very soft sigh. Your movements are a bit off. Kagura sensed the growing urgency of this body's owner, but the more frantic she became, the more her spiritual power stagnated. At that very moment, a pair of hands covered Kagura's own. One spread through the point of contact, a stark contrast to Yuki Gozen's icy words. Her palms were unexpectedly warm and gentle. The faint fragrance of gentian flowers lingered at the tip of her nose, elegant and familiar, just like that warm afternoon when she walked through the gentian courtyard with her brother.
So gentle.
Kagura murmured involuntarily, and Yuki Gozen's eyelashes fluttered slightly, a faint smile lingering at the corners of her lips. She lowered her voice, adopting a guiding tone. Focus your mind.
All right.
To Kagura's surprise, right after the extremely rigorous spellcasting class came swordsmanship training. She didn't even have time to catch her breath, let alone investigate in the memory illusion.
Why does this feel more exhausting than some past adventures? Is this the mana of teaching? And do shrine maidens need to learn swordsmanship? Back when I was taking shrine maiden lessons at the minimal domain house, they never taught me swordsmanship.
Swordsmanship lessons were also personally taught by Yuki Gozen. What she imparted were not basic sword techniques, but ruthless, direct, and lethal moves aimed at vital points in real combat. With each full-powered sword swing, the young shrine maidens gradually grew weary, yet Lady Yuki Gozen's gaze remained sharp, her demands unwavering. Among them, the only one who seemed genuinely excited, even radiant, was Nagi. During the previous magic class, she barely kept her eyes open to endure the lesson, but now in swordsmanship training, she's like a completely different person, her eyes gleaming intensely, a stark contrast to her earlier drowsy demeanor.
Seems you're quite fond of swordsmanship, aren't you? Of course. Isn't swinging a sword exhilarating? Rather than wasting time arguing with people, it's better to just take action.
Nagi swung the wooden blade forcefully, mimicking the sound of slicing through the air. Noticing Kagura watching her, her emoji subtly took on a hint of pride, like a little beast showing off a new toy.
This was given to me by my teacher, a wooden blade she made with her own hands. If you're curious, I can lend it to you for a closer look after this is over.
After speaking, Nagi immediately immersed herself in sword practice with intense focus. Her movements were precise and powerful, clearly surpassing all the young shrine maidens present. Still, Kagura couldn't quite figure out why the shrine maidens needed to practice swordsmanship. Just then, someone voiced the very question lingering in Kagura's heart. It's that little shrine maiden named Lumi. During the recent magic lesson, she earned Lady Yuki Gozen's praise for her excellent spiritual control. But now in swordsmanship class, her face is clouded with worry.
Lady Yuki Gozen, why?
Lumi's voice was as faint as a mosquito's hum. After a while, as if mustering her courage anew, she raised her head and voiced her doubts loudly.
Why must we all learn swordsmanship?
Lumi's hand was reddened and raw from gripping her sword.
Besides mastering many high-level spells, we also have to endure such grueling sword training every day. But the shrine maidens from other clans only need to focus on blessings, unlike us.
Lumi's words clearly resonated with some of the other young shrine maidens, and everyone stopped what they were doing. Yet Lady Yuki Gozen's expression remained unsoftened, her voice quiet but resolute. Hold your sword properly. Lumi had no choice but to raise the sword to waist height as instructed. Hold your sword level, then strike at me with it. Just if, you can touch me with your sword, even by half a centimeter, we'll never have another swordsmanship lesson again. Deal?
What? What?
Draw your blade. Lumi hesitated, but at Yuki Gozen's command, she bit her lower lip, raised her sword, and swung it toward Yuki Gozen. A piercing metallic clang rang out. With just her scabbard, Yuki Gozen sent Lumi's sword flying, and as the blade spun away, an offensive spell had already formed, hovering inches from Lumi's forehead. The moment Yuki Gozen took another step, the spell would resume. Faced with the imminent attack spell, Lumi froze in place. If you can't even protect yourself, how can you cast your spells? A shrine maiden must protect others, but also herself. Lady Yuki Gozen's gaze extended beyond the courtyard walls toward the distant mountains shrouded in twilight. At this very moment, though the courtyard is serene, beyond the distant mountains where the eye cannot reach, flames of war rage, and the blood of the Minwata clan flows on the battlefield. Dusk draped over Yuki Gozen, gliding her with a hazy, golden halo. Her icy demeanor finally cracked, revealing a trace of hidden sorrow as her voice softened like a sigh. Things are no longer as they were in the past. Your fathers, brothers, and sisters are fighting for the Minamoto clan somewhere, defending its honor with their lives and safeguarding the peace of each one of us. Yuki Gozen fell silent. Yet everyone understood her unspoken words through her sorrowful gaze. No more complaints could be heard in the classroom. Lumi silently picked up the sword that had been knocked away and returned to the formation to resume practice. This time her gaze was exceptionally focused. Kagura keenly noticed a faint, gentle healing carrot spell winding from the tips of Yuki Gozen's fingers at her side, quietly covering the red mark on Lumi's hand.
That's great. Lumi's scars are fading slowly. Lady Yuki Gozen, truly.
Seems like you're particularly distracted today.
Oops.
Kagura's internal alarms blared.
Lady Yuki Gozen truly has eyes like an eagle's. Today in class I got caught more times than all my past incidents combined.
I hate doing these little itty bitty voices for these itty bitty characters. In that case, I shall face you in a duel of swordsmanship. Finally, that story is over. Ugh. One more story and I will be done.
ここはどこ？みんなの願い私が守る。その想い聞き届け。
必ず世界を守り抜きましょう。共に窮地を乗り越えましょう。
煉獄の下り。みんなの願いは私が守る。再参戦よ。
運命は光明を彼はしません。日の光を貫け。
その想い聞き届けた。その身で受けなさい。みんなの願いは私
破
が守る。
滅を食い止めてみせましょう。
Please let this next story be short. At night, the little shrine maidens, freshly washed, gathered around Yuki Gozen like fledgling birds. The warm yellow light softened the paper doors, the tawny mats, and the rosy cheeks of the children. Occasionally, the wind chimes hanging from the eaves were brushed by the night breeze, emitting crisp ding-dong sounds. At first, the little priestesses chattered away, but as Yuki Gozen recounted tales of the men of the clan's past, they gradually drifted off to sleep. Nagi could no longer hold on and fell into a deep sleep. She curled up, nestling against Yuki Gozen, her mischievous daytime demeanor completely gone. Only when all the little shrine maidens had fallen into slumber did Yuki Gozen gently raise her hand, her sleeves fluttering softly with the motion. A gentle yet vast spiritual power spread like a warm tide. The sleeping shrine maidens were softly lifted by the light, as if cradled by invisible hands, and silently returned to their respective beds. Following Lady Yuki Gozen's movement, Kagura leaned in, nestling against her side and gently resting her head on Yuki Gozen's lap. The moment Kagura neared Yuki Gozen, her entire body relaxed involuntarily. Let me see if there is any discomfort in your body. Yuki Gozen's warm hand gently rests upon Kagura's forehead.
So comfortable.
She loves the soft sleeves she's resting on now, the warm palm gently touching her forehead, and the lingering scent of gentian flowers surrounding her. A warm sense of security flooded Kagura's entire being. She felt nothing but warmth and bliss.
Like a mother's hand.
Kagura faintly saw her younger self being gently patted by hands that were just as fragrant, tender, and strong. The same warm candlelight, the same tender and caring eyes.
Could it be due to shared bloodline? This natural sense of familiarity toward Lady Yuki Gozen.
Perhaps it won't come to that.
Anyway, I really like her. I really like Mentor Yuki Gozen.
Unconsciously lulled by the overwhelming sense of safety and warmth, Kagura slowly closed her eyes.
No wonder some lose themselves in illusions, unwilling to leave.
This is it, Kagura thought in that final moment. I'm so glad this story is finished. I wonder if people really enjoy the Eternal Crossfire story because I don't know, I found the story to be kind of boring. I mean, did we really need a flashback to little shrine maidens learning how to do spells and swordsmanship? They could have summed that up in maybe 2 or 3 sentences. 2 or 3 sentences. Like, okay, you could go there and train the shrine maidens. They didn't like the swordsmanship. Meanwhile, their families is all fighting in the war. Boom, done. Let's get back to the freaking battle. Like, my goodness, Onmyoji, y'all would make a little moment and drag it out super long. But I don't know, maybe people really enjoy. I know it's a role-playing game, but my goodness, that to me was so freaking boring. I really do not enjoy anime-based games that just drag on a scene that could have been summed up so quickly, and they would drag it out, especially this game, drag it out like forever in reading. And it's like, if I was like writing a story, something as boring as that, I would have just summed that up in a few sentences. Let's get back to the nitty gritty. Taro no Masakato versus Yuki Gozen. How did the battle go? Boom, 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 boom. She did this, he did that. Boom, boom, they in the sky, they doing this, they doing that. La 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 la. Like, so no, priestesses like freaking learning spells, Kagura going back to freaking to like Kagura going back like through the memory illusion. Like, oh my god, I hate when they do a damn memory illusion. Like, dude, we really need to know all of that. Like, you could have summed that up so quick on Onmyoji. I mean, come on, Indy. Come on, man. Get back to the freaking battle. Y'all always talk about a lot of nothing. Same with Clouds Unseen. My goodness. You see a damn volcano, freaking leave. Shoot. No, they trying to freaking carve a damn passageway and all of this stuff. Y'all will drag out small stuff and turn it into something. And then as I be trying to read this, the TV be on in the freaking background. I know that be turning people off on the video. It would turn me off. Like, damn, this person reading and they got background noise, but I can't help it. Like, sometimes when I'm trying to like really get this over with, and I'd be like, oh, I'm way over here in this room, and the other person is way over there in that room, and I'd be like, how come the audio sounds so loud? They're way over there, and I'm way over here. And it ruins my whole freaking recording. So I had to reread this for the freaking 3rd time with finally no background noise. My goodness, and y'all would drag the story out forever. Like I be trying to really get on the game to get to the battle, and then it just pop up with the story first. I'm like, shoot. I be wanting to skip it, but I be like, I don't know, people might really enjoy this, so I just read it anyway. But I think nowadays, next event, I'm probably gonna do a whole lot of skipping, and then to get to the battle, and then come back and read, because that right there just was it, man. Like, my goodness. Like, do y'all really care?
Hated swordsmanship class. Kagura goes into a memory illusion. to experience it through another person's mind. And she discovered Yuki Gozen training the little priestesses and stuff.
Meanwhile, a whole battle going on. We got to go through this little boring freaking tale. Oh my goodness. This is why I can't watch anime when it's about a bunch of Rugrats. People don't know what Rugrats is. Go look up freaking cartoon. Like, man, I do not read about a group of freaking little rascals trying to freaking learn swordsmanship. Like, y'all in a battle, y'all really need to learn it, because in the trailer, those arrows came crashing down, and if Yuki Gozen didn't sacrifice herself with trying to take hold of that ice sword or whatever it's freaking called and walk out there and use it. If she wasn't able to freaking unlock his power and stuff, they were all gonna be goners. Like, at least you'll know a little bit something about a sword, like, while they complaining.
夢の中でみんなと約束したんだ。だからみんなを見つけ出して一緒に連れて帰らないとね。
この一戦をもって静寂を。この身は刃に、この志は吹雪に。
来ぬ人の影に焦がれて思い掘りおののへ尽きて秋訪れる。